Good morning all, hope you're doing okay. May the 17th, 2022 Bulletin. We had quite a shift on the 24-hour difference. If it continues like this, we'll be risk on again at the big picture. VIX was crushed a lot as well, and if we continue, we'll be below the yearly pivot, so that's going to be risk on as well. VIX was crushed, and note where the dollar is as well. If we go up a little bit higher, it's going to be in the strong sell, and that's going to confirm the risk on mood. And gold's moved a lot, so it's kind of like squished the bubbles up a bit, so it's kind of a bit annoying, but that's just one of those things. Gold was really heavily shorted yesterday, and guess what happened to price? So we'll cover gold in a bit. This was a video that I made about the VIX and move. Move is for bond volatility and VIX is for the S&P volatility, so ideally you want the two to run in parallel, and they were both in descent, and that's risk on. So watch this video. I posted it on my YouTube channel and also on the main channel on Telegram for Quasidb customers. So yeah, try and get an eye on VIX and move and watch what they do, because you know they're obviously going to be key metrics for risk sentiment. Dollar's still really strong on the large time frames. However, it's got reeling a little bit. It's moving back. Relaxing a little bit on the small time frames. See the white bar. For that reason, that they've gone long dollar now. They've got stopped out, and now they've decided to buy, and that's going to work out not very good for them. So that's one of those things. Pound's strengthening on the small time frames, and so yeah, maybe there's some stuff going on. I know there's some UK data out in a bit. So maybe it's moving because of that, I'm not sure. So that's what, just worth watching the pound. Perhaps it rallied quite a lot on the small time frames. There's the buy for gold, which went out to the technical channel, saying this is the time to get out, take profit, which I did, and of course they wanted to sell it because we were below 1800. It got people in and got really heavily involved because of the round number, and they sold it, and up we come. And so that's that. So very simple, straightforward way to analyze the market is just look at your sentiment, and then you don't like I keep saying, you don't really need that much technical analysis. All you can probably do is just have like one sentiment indicator. Have your stop right there, perhaps just below the low, and then you get a decent R, which is your risk to reward. But as long as you know where your exit is, that's fine. So that's a good indication to get the trading station. So definitely get a copy of this. You should be using it really. And S&P sentiment's choppy, as you can see. They went long here. So what I think is going to happen, we've got Powell speech later, and I think we need to have a wobble, and then we need to flush out because they're buying the dips, and so that's an unhealthy sign. The retail guys can't be conditioned to think it's okay to buy risk. They need to be in a state of fear, and so that's normal behaviour. But they're not. They don't have enough fear at the moment, so they're buying the dip. It might not work out well for them. So I think Powell's going to cause quite a lot of uncertainty and fear, and then hopefully it will fall, and then these guys will eventually sell it, and then once they do, then we'll rally to all-time highs. But they need to get out of the equation, because we don't want the dumb money involved in longs, because I counter trend. So oil was the greatest mover towards buy, and nothing really stands out as sell. France, Germany, UK actually as well. The FTSE, they reversed on the FTSE sentiment a lot, so that's risk on. Gold skewed the bubbles a bit, but that's okay. Dollar is weakest, so yeah, a little nudge will be in the strong sell section for dollar, and Aussie's the only strong buy currently in that quadrant. You remember the move's been as well, so if in case you see this and think, oh, I'll buy gold, you could argue the move's been, because you should have called it here at the crossover yesterday. So this is why you need the trading station. Okay, don't just look at the bubble and go, oh, I'm going to buy gold because it's there. Or you should have got, when it was moving, It's like a gamble now because we don't know if it's going to continue or reverse. If we catch it as it moves, there's not really too much of a gamble, because that's already moved a lot on the sentiment already. So 10% in 24 hours. So yeah, there's a little caveat there, a bit of a disclaimer. Remember to get the trading station as well, and this just confirms what you're seeing. Okay. Quasidb is offering a fairly decent correlation of US 500. It's okay. It's not as great as it was yesterday. We're 95% probability. Today we're looking at 71% probability. So there's quite a margin of error for US 500 and Quasidb. So it's 29% chance of error. So it doesn't offer you a very strong clue about US 500, but it's okay. This is fine. There's no inversion. They could come down a little bit, like I keep saying, but I mean it's a fairly decent curve there. These two could come down there, you see, but it's not really indicating much fear and worry. They are gradually reducing over time. There's risk on, which kind of matches what we're saying above at the top of this bulletin. And then there's the Powell speech in 13 hours time. So do take regular breaks. I woke up early today, but I'm going to have I'm going to take the afternoon off. Then I'm going to come back in the evening for that because that's going to be a big mover. And SLC update, the stop loss cluster. Largest mover was gold. There's the green shift. But however, you note that the high level is sell. Is a lot of mismatch on everything apart from EA, which is a sell. That's the only one that has the colours matching. Everything else is out of bonk. So yesterday was a big chop on the sentiment. So EA is probably a good one to look at for short because of the colours matching. Largest stop loss cluster is AU, which would kind of agree with the EA short. Aussie strength. Where is Aussie? There it is. It had moved. So in the time I made this bulletin, the Aussie bubble had moved. So it's over there now. Yeah, so that's that. So we want colours to match really. So it's pretty simple. It's not rocket science. If it's not matching, there's chop and there's an indecision. And there's the location of AU. The size is fairly large at 3.85. So if we come up there, it will be risk on, which it looks like we're going to be, and the dollar is softening as well. No signals yesterday, that's fine. Eyes and Powell speech. He might reference a 75 basis point hike, and if so, it will cause a lot of volatility and possibly a much needed shakeout of S&P long. So I think it will be risk off when he's talking, and then we'll see a flush out. A much needed flush out. So 65%. They were a bit too long on the S&P. So if we get them out the equation, then that'll be a lot better for everything. And unfortunately, they're going to have to lose a lot of money in order to get our bias for a buy. And so that's it. So trade safely, like I always say. Know your exit. And I'm going to make a video on the trading station and how to install the indicators and how to configure them as well, because you guys should be using this. The fact that you're not using this, it's a shame, because it's absolutely amazing, especially for entry and exit. So I'll speak to you soon and have a good day.